What is up, my brothers and sisters? So I came across this channel and they were talking about weather geoengineering and that the government has the technology and that it is possible through Doppler radar by shooting frequencies into the sky. See, a lot of people were saying it was because they were spraying the skies for the longest time, and that's how they were doing it, right? You know, when Hurricane Helene happened, and you can like look at people's channels that are talking about this, right? And if you just look at the comments, like people are still talking about this. They're like, yeah, they're spraying the sky all day today. These people are evil, right? Oh, right. Stop the spraying. But then they switched it to frequencies, right? So like they went from spraying the sky and then they were like, no, it's frequencies. And so I came across somebody's channel and they referenced this video on Rumble, right? I can't even get to focus. And this is a stupid ad right there. I can't focus on this damn thing. Come on. There we go. So here we go.
Of metal into the paint itself. These particles would then absorb the energy. But if you put that up into the air and then you broadcast a signal that is tuned to the exact frequency that matches the size, and this is the key, all of these particles are the same exact size, so they respond to a specific frequency. So when you transmit this frequency, you can get all those particles to heat up. And if that mass of air has moisture in it, any kind of humidity at all, it all rises and expands. So this is how you can actually generate a weather.
So right here, you see this example, right, where they're showing Hurricane Ida, right? And then look how they zap it, right? Supposedly they zap it, right? Wha-bam! 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 And so apparently this guy that's talking is like used to work for the government or something, right? And you know, you just got to take his word for it, you know, because you know, for all we know, he could be what is it? Counterintelligence, right? Opposition, you know, opposition to feeding the narrative, right? So here we go, right? Here comes Hurricane Ida, right? Hurricane Ida's coming, right? So hold on, I pass it up. Right, so here we go. Watch. Well, bam! Well, bam! So first of all, I just want to, like, you know, through this observation, you know, because they're saying that they were steering Hurricane Ida right here. Hurricane Ida at the moment looks like it's already making landfall. So they really didn't steer it. It was already heading that way anyways, right? And then when they did their zappy thing, it changed in no way, right? Like the direction continued to stay on track, right? Like it just, if anything, it just lit up like Christmas, and that was the only difference, right? Like, here we go. So let me see if we get a better view here. I'm sorry, I can't focus on this damn thing. Here we go. Right, let's see if we get a better view of this map here, because apparently they did this for. So here's Texas, right here, right? This is Louisiana. Here's Mississippi. It's already over Mississippi, right? So, right? It really didn't change much from what I'm observing. And like, why did they want to steer it after it's already making landfall? Usually when hurricanes make landfall, like they're already like on their way out, right? Like they're like their death is near, right? So and you know, when you look at the rest of the world, right? Hold on, let me see if I when you look at the rest of the world, right? Like there's bad weather happening everywhere, right? Russia's flooding, China's flooding, right? South America's flooding. Like there's disasters happening everywhere right now, right? The earth is literally, everywhere is literally on fire too. Like there's fires everywhere. So are you insinuating that every country is doing it to themselves? Or are you insinuating that that like China is doing this to us, right? Because if that was the case, then why don't we just like, you know, send it right back, right?
Hadouken!
Right? Because when they send one at us,
Hadouken!
right? And then we could just bounce that bitch back, right?
Hadouken!
And, you know, because this is apparently like common knowledge, right? This technology has been around forever. So like if we have it, they have it, and they have it, and they have it, right? It's just like everybody has nuclear weapons, right? So like you would think that like to counter, like say China was steering this storm towards us, right? And we just like played our frequency and we were like,
Hadouken!
right? We just like bounced that bitch back, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want the hurricane, right? And they're like, you get hurricane, right? And we were like, no, like we don't need the hurricane. And you know, and then there's just like other things you have to take into consideration, right? Like with what I'm seeing here and these interesting graphics that are being presented to me, like that still tells me nothing, right? Like they showed an awesome display of like plasma energy, but they still didn't really explain like how it works, right? Because let's say like wizards are real, right? And like this guy is convincing me and telling me that like they're using this electromagnetic frequency and they're using Doppler radar, right? And they're just like playing this frequency through the air to steer it, right? But like, how do you know it's not really like a bunch of wizards performing magic, right? You know, this is hypothetically speaking, right? Like that like wizards are, you know, exist and like they can, you know, Merlin is over there standing on the hill and he's like, you know, he's performing his magic spell, right? And you know, so it looks convincing, right? But it just doesn't convince me, right? Like there's just too many questions, right? Like how they still didn't explain how they steered it, right? Because from what I'm looking at, when they zap it, right? Like it could go any direction, right? Like within that vicinity, right? Like you see all this, right? So like it could go over here to the left because like there's energy over here, or it could go over here to the right because there's a bunch of energy over here. But like apparently they wanted it to go through Mississippi after making landfall. So, yeah. And then you have to take other things into consideration too, like, you know, the jet stream, wind, you know, so, you know, just out of curiosity, how fast does the jet stream blow? It says that the speed of the jet stream, right? The speed of the jet stream varies, but generally ranges from 80 to 140 miles per hour. However, it can reach speeds exceeding 275 mile per ruse. So, you know, it's still unpredictable, right? Like there's other factors besides like, you know, manipulating the water droplets, right? Like you still have to take the wind, you still have to take into consideration solar radiation. And believe it or not, you're actually manipulating the weather right now as we speak by using your vehicle, all the smokestacks from the factories, right? You get acid rain. You have to take in the jet stream. You have to take in sulfuric acid from volcanoes, right? You have to take in solar geomagnetic storms, right? You have to take in the temperatures of the sea, right? There's so many factors here that like aren't being explained, right? And I'm just not convinced, you know. You know, you might chalk it up to technology, but I chalk it up to the creator and nature.